Now let's continue our conversation by bringing back our panel. Rejoining us from Newsmax Washington, international reporter Margaret Howell, and via Skype from Louisiana, the co-chair of Donald Trump's campaign in that state, Jeff Crouer. Jeff is also the author of the book, America's Last Chance. So we thank you both for staying with us. To the surrender of the internet, former Republican presidential candidate and Texas Senator Ted Cruz reacted to Mitch McConnell's decision to side with President Obama's surrender of the internet. Let's look and listen.
Unfortunately, the Senate leadership decided this week to give in to Obama on the giveaway of the internet. I have a lot of support from both senators and members of the House. John Thune and Chuck Grassley and Chairman Upton and Chairman Goodlatte in both the House and Senate were supporting me, but our leadership made the decision to give in to Obama's demands. I think it was a serious, serious mistake.
Ted Cruz with Joe Pags earlier this week on Newsmax TV, that simulcast of Joe's nationally syndicated radio show, Maggie. Ted calls it a serious, serious mistake. Do you see it the same way?
Oh, he's right. June the 8th and the 9th, respectively, Ted Cruz and Sean Duffy both proposed bills in the House and Senate trying to curb this. They knew that what was going to happen. They could foresee this happening. September the 30th, this is the handover. It goes to ICANN. And who sits on the board of ICANN? China, Russia, and Iran. So in theory, we could be seeing China controlling our own internet in the same building where they have the total control over their own internet, which is pretty interesting if you think about that. So we're talking about countries that don't have our same values, that don't share our ideology, our love of liberty and free speech, potentially controlling our free speech. The only way that Congress can stop this is that they pull the purse strings and they don't allow the Department of Commerce to fund the transition. That's the only way out of this, because it looks like they were unsuccessful in passing these two bills, and it's on its way through.
Jeff, let me go to you. I mean, you're from Louisiana, and there are sharp elbows in that state, and you guys have jungle primaries. But it would just seem to me this would be one issue where Republicans and Democrats could get together and not only say no, but hell no. Tomorrow the internet changes hands.
JD, it's an outrage. I mean, independents, everyone should be on board with this. I mean, remember, Al Gore invented the internet. It's an American thing. What are we doing giving it away to this international conglomerate? I mean, it absolutely is insane. JD, it reminds me how worthless, and I know you were a member of Congress, but how worthless these Republican leaders are in Congress. What are they doing? They're giving Obama everything, JD. Thank goodness we have Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and a few others who have spoken out, but literally Obama gets whatever he wants. I mean, it's insane. Everyone that I talk to is opposed to this. I haven't talked to one person who thinks this is a good idea.
Nor have I. You'll forgive me for a brief aside, but one of the things I did was raise HE double hockey sticks with George W. Bush on immigration to the point where we took a picture like he was going to throw me out the door of Air Force One at 50,000 feet. So I stood up to those guys and spoke truth to power. Here's something else that may really pervert the power in the hands of people. It's our lead story late this afternoon on Newsmax.com. DHS and FBI, hackers targeted election systems of 20 states. Maggie, this whole story, you know what gets me about it? We hear from Jay, rhymes with May Johnson. It's those Russians. I got to tell you, I don't trust Homeland Security. If they want to try to take over these elections, claim their critical infrastructure. What say you?
I think that it's a load of crap, frankly, and that's the simplest way I could put that. Look, Hillary tried to indict the Russians in the debate. She's tried to indict the Russians pretty much for the past 3 months. The State Department tried to indict the Russians 2 days ago when they said they're going to start shooting down Russian jets if they don't stop fighting ISIS. It seems that we're trying to engage them in a provocation here without any proof that they've actually hacked anything. You know, cybersecurity, there are links and IP addresses. I lived in Russia myself. I don't see this as plausible. I see this as posturing from neocons, including Hillary Clinton, which is the largest neocon, wanting to engage Russia in a provocation. Show me the proof. Where did they actually hack? Can we trace this back to them? You know, hackers, we have a hacker right now in Alexandria held up in a federal holding facility. This is easy to figure out. And there isn't any proof to substantiate the claims that she's making or that the DNC made. So show me the proof.
And speaking of neocons and a con job, Homeland Security, what is Jay Johnson trying to pull, Jeff? 20 seconds.
You know, I've talked to our Secretary of State, JD, and he's worried about federal oversight and involvement in these elections. He says the states do a good job. We've got good protection here in Louisiana. We don't want the Department of Homeland Security anywhere near our elections. I think this is all an excuse for them to get more involved, and that worries me, JD.
It worries all of us, and of course we say goodbye to the internet tomorrow. We say goodbye to Maggie and to Jeff right now, and you have our thanks. Next on Prime, Howard Dean tweeted about Donald Trump and cocaine. The ex-Vermont governor had more to say today. We'll discuss it on The Wire as Newsmax Prime continues.